March 5th, 2020, 9 a.m. Call the Finance Committee meeting to order. We'll do the roll call.
McTaggart?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Alt?
Here.
Curtis?
Yes.
Young?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Sticknut?
Here.
Now we'll call the meeting to order. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? So moved by Mr. Young, second by Sherry. All in favor? Aye. Move on to public comments. Any public comments? No public? Okay, and we'll go on to Myron Munyon and liability insurance.
So the Senate Bill 75 is now, that's the Transparency Act that we've been talking about, getting training for. It's now referred to as Public Act 101-0221. Our attorneys have reviewed and studied the legislation, and now they're going to start conducting training. So we're ready to go with this. We have online training. We can also offer in-person training. Both of them take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We can do several sessions, or you can do it online. We can set it up for that. All employees will receive a certificate of completion for either online or in-person training. The nice part about the online training, you're worried about getting an employee that comes in later that missed out on the training. They can start it on any computer 24 hours a day, and it tracks where they're at, so they can work on a little bit at a time, and then they can stop and pick up where they left off. When they're completed with that, they'll get their certificate, and then you'll be in compliance. So it's going to offer an easy way of getting everybody up to speed. So we can start by offering some dates for the training, or getting together with some dates. I'll keep contact with Jill, and we'll figure out what dates work for you guys, so we can figure out what's going to be the best option for you guys. And we can come here and do the board like on different shifts, whatever works for you guys. We can come after a meeting, before a meeting, and knock that out, that part of it out, or we can set you up for the online with your email. The email is going to be your username, so then you'll have to design a password for that. So that's pretty much it. We just went ahead, and it looks like they released some model training, but we went off that and designed our own to go over the top of it. So I've got copies here for everybody. It just basically gives you the summary that I just talked about. I know there's a lot of information there, but it's thankfully it's going to help us.
Okay.
And it basically is simplified. So finally we'll get moving on this.
Okay.
I ran some extra copies so that you guys might want to have them for your department heads as well.
Okay.
And we'll do whatever works with you guys. If you want us to break down and do department by department, or just train the trainer and then they can proceed with the training, either way you want to do it is fine with us. But I'll be in contact with you.
Okay.
And then whatever works. Any questions for me?
Don't think so. Anybody have anything?
Do one minute opinion, I'd be a pro for online training, just for the cost savings aspect, because I tell my staff they have to come in for a face-to-face. It's going to run into overtime for me, period, end of story.
And that's part where I could do the live training with you, set you up and show you how to get them ready to go online. And then, you guys can do your departments like that, or sometimes we have people that don't, that aren't real computer friendly in different departments, and they don't have email addresses. Those are the people that we can line up and do the online.
I don't have specific county email addresses. I think I have one or two of them that has county email addresses. Everybody else does not.
Yeah.
Can you set up a general one and then just let them log in under a different thing? That way you'd be able to monitor, make sure everybody does it, even though they're gonna get a certificate.
Yeah, I can check on that. I'll check on that and let you know.
That or use it for personal.
Yeah.
And then they would be responsible to give it to their department heads, and we can, I'm assuming you'd want that on file with Jill and or Amanda.
Yeah.
Say, yes, we've completed that training.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Maybe we get some consistency with the emails all the way across the board.
Will we board members have to take the training?
Yes. Everybody that is involved with the county in any shape or
There's a
form.
test too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Okay, Susie does not look like she's here. And department head reports, Eric?
Don't have a whole bunch. I've got a new reporting system in 911 that's now been put in place, so that's been going up and running. I haven't had any challenges with it other than this month's report. When you see the full board meeting, some of the numbers will be a little bit skewed because we had some calibration with it, so some stuff was a little bit too low, so it was something that was not supposed to be a call was counted as a call, and I pulled that from the reporting system as of now, so those numbers are going to be skewed and not look correct. So it said I had something like 5,901 phone calls, so I knew that was wrong. I usually average about 1,000 a month. So, and then the other one is we found some issue with salaries for onboarding employees. It is going to impact my budget a little bit this year. I don't have specific numbers yet. I'm working with Amanda to get all of that together. So this is kind of just a heads up that something's coming down the line for right now, but I don't have enough other than exactly this. I don't have all the information for that.
Okay.
Questions?
Don't think so. Okay, Bob? Nothing? Kurt?
The only thing I have is that our two loan people for the county are still making their payments on time, like they should be. So, and other than that, I don't have anything right now.
Okay. Ken?
Yeah, in relation to what Kurt just talked about, I brought an email that George Kuchka sent me because he was kind of upbeat in it, so I'll just read it. He said things are going well for Plant 3. We've got steady business for the gun cabinets, but still not up to full production. We're at 181 full-time employees, 20 for the gun cabinets. We're moving through the production process, which includes the time at Plant 1 as well as Plant 3, as I mentioned. Our cabinets are continually being shipped to Menards, Big 5 Sporting Goods, and Mills Farm and Feed. There's some other promising news for Plant 3, as one of our agricultural irrigation customers is increasing demand. That work is also being built out of Plant 3 and further solidifies the demand on that plant and requires 3 additional workers. So actually, that building is responsible for 23 so far workers, and they're ahead of schedule. We give them like 2 years to come up to full employment after they get a loan like that. They're way over halfway there, so he was happy, and me too, I guess.
Oh, good. Okay, John, you got anything? No? Okay, then we'll move on to discussion on pay now claims. Okay, everybody has a paper in front of them. Jill, I guess I didn't ask you, do you have any, sorry, before we get to that, the department head.
Just an update on the audit, on our end is complete. The auditors are finishing up, finalizing it, and they're hoping to present it in April.
Yeah, well, great.
And then as
Big
far as
improvement
these,
compared to our struggles last year, which was understandable, but
yeah. And then as far as the pay now claims, this list is what I inherited from Mary Ann when she retired. So, been speaking with John, we're not sure how this list came about, but I did speak with Sandy Drake over at Sheriff's Office, and she stated that Airmark is a weekly service and needs to be kept caught up with their payments. And as far as the credit cards go, they were added to avoid late fees because there was issues with different dates and companies not willing to take off fees any further. I spoke with Sandy Sickma from the health department. The vaccinations that are on the list, they get discounted if they're paid right away versus having to wait a month, and UPS is utilized and requires immediate payment. Leaf was added for the copier leases. They are under contract, and each department has different due dates, and there was an issue with all departments getting invoices in and payment, getting there on time. And then postage is just, the machine requires postage to be added whenever it's low on funds. There's not a set payment date for the postage. So those are some of the answers that I got.
And the issue therefore is that these aren't actually being approved then by the board because they're
They
happening.
still go to meetings, they're just already paid.
They're already paid, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
There's never been a problem with this, has there?
I think that in speaking with John, we were just concerned that nobody really knows how they
Yeah.
came about to be on the list, so we just wanted it noted that this is the pay now claims list, and if a department head or elected official would like something added, they have to bring it to their committee to get approved, and then it will get approved at full board for us to add it on the list. We don't just pick and choose, we just go off this list.
Another issue is with the credit cards, there really is no oversight on those if they're paid in advance. We don't really know. I don't think we know that there's ever been any abuse, but nevertheless, the opportunity for abuse exists by going ahead and paying them without the county board having oversight. So I think almost every committee meeting when claims are reviewed, somebody has a question about something on the claims. I think that in itself establishes the need for it. I don't know if it's possible to get these credit cards with their due dates revised so that it falls more in harmony with our schedule, but we think it ought to be an effort that should be made.
I would think so. I mean, John and I were talking before the meeting started that I think you can normally call the credit card company and switch the date to whatever you want.
So, I must be just not caffeinated enough today. So these are getting paid
Oh, yeah,
by us or the credit card at this point in time?
no, by us. These pay now claims, whenever a claim is submitted for one of these that are listed,
They get a check
they get paid right away.
Okay.
They don't go to the board to get approved and then get paid.
And so then, like, Aramark is going on a credit card.
No,
It's just getting paid.
it's just getting paid. The only thing with the credit cards is the sheriff, they utilize CVS, Walmart, Casey's, Phillips, gas
Gas
and
and
basically medications for inmates.
Yeah, so they're still listed on the sheets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're listed, they're just already paid.
I think you probably could get, I don't know, if you can call the credit card ones or whatever, or if that,
I can
To
speak
get
with
'em.
Sandy and,
I would think normally they let you change the date, you know, and then they, as long as you're gonna pay it, if it makes your life easier, they don't care. I
Yeah.
don't think, I mean, in my limited experience with that, and I would think on the leaf, you probably,
Yeah, well,
as
I
they're
don't know why they
renewed or.
We've
Put
had-
that all in one bill for you,
well, each department has different copier contracts that are due at different times.
but all from the same one?
From
Leaf?
From Leaf, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they wouldn't just,
One of your other challenges is because your meeting dates, especially for the county board, is somewhat fluid, plus or minus 6 days. A lot of these credit card companies, they're gonna set it on a specific date, and then depending on which committee, you may not have a bill. So if the bill doesn't come prior to the committee, and then the committee does its approval, then the county board needs to make its approval, you could have some potential issues where you're gonna end up paying late fees because you're gonna go beyond that credit card due date. Or you might only have a couple of days by the time everything's signed and going out. And you're gonna have to start running into ACH transactions or something along those lines to get it paid on time. Usually with most of your credit card companies, there's no grace period past that due date. That due date is there for a reason, and then you start getting fines or fees.
And we've been
But
successful
that
at
doesn't mean we
getting
Time
can't
do they
go
give
to
you
the
to
credit
pay
card
it?
company and try and negotiate something there.
Usually it's 30 days.
I'm not saying
You
that
got
you
30 days
can't
to
do
pay, I
something
mean.
like that, but
As long as you
That's all.
put the
That's
check in the mail
all
on
I'm
the
asking.
day of the county board meeting.
Which is pretty much either the day of or the day after they get in the mail.
Right, well, that's what I mean. If you got 30 days to pay, I don't care when our meeting is, I mean,
how often I've had to call them and ask them for.
We don't call them in our office, the sheriff, Sandy, it used to be Dawn, I used to call, but now Sandy's calling. I'm not sure how often she's having to call now, because we've been paying them right away. But, from what I was told in the past, and again, this is just what I was told from when Donna and Mary Ann were here, they were calling every time they got an invoice.
Oh, well, yeah, that's kind of inexcusable, but
Mm-hmm.
just for whatever reason, but
I mean, I can speak with Sandy and see if we can change the dates and we can try to, see if that makes a
yeah,
difference.
well, I don't think we need to incur fees or anything, but I think if you put the due date, got the due date at the 20th,
Yeah. 15th or
and
the
we got the
20th.
bill 30 days before that,
Yeah, like I said, I can only
it'd be
personally
almost
speak
impossible not
about
to get it paid on time.
BP, because BP, we've gone round and round with them, and they basically go off of the date that they open the payment and not like a mail date. So it could sit on somebody's desk for a week, and then they open it, and that's the date that they go by, and they'll charge late fees according to that. We've had a
That's
huge
a
issue with
mail-out.
BP.
But not local.
No, they can use their card at any of the BP stations. It's a BP card, not local. Mhm.
Do we have the option of paying these credit card bills electronically?
I'm sure.
I mean, that would be one way to get around the BP late idea, and might also give us a little more flexibility.
That we would have to set up through Yvonne in the treasurer's office.
You'd think that like Leaf, surely we could get them to change. to
That's
align
been a
all the-
constant problem since we
Yeah,
got the copiers 5 years, when we started a
Do
contract
they
with
think they're
Proven
gonna
5 years
copy?
ago.
I have no idea. I just have heard from
We either
every
bought it,
department
we
I
all bought
called
it,
and checked,
and-
got information before we presented this, just so I
It's
had
like
some
talking to a
feedback
brick
on
wall.
why they were on the list, but
Leaf has been extraordinarily painful. If you pay that thing late, they don't, ETSB is to the point with them where they will not waive any late fees, even after explaining how we receive the bill, we have boards that have to approve these. They do not care. They will put a late
When are
fee
these
on it.
contracts up?
I know
they're all
ETSB's up.
different. Like, finance just got renewed, as well as, two of them over at the courthouse, I
Mine.
believe in the circuit clerks. I think yours just got done, right?
We'll go get our new machine when you get yours. when you
Yeah.
can.
And then,
You're
there's,
impressed, I can tell.
health department just had 3 put in.
Do those get put out for
We can
bid
get a
too?
copier and get a good copier.
Or they're just automatically?
They were just automatically, we
I
use
think
them
that
with
those should
proven.
probably be put out for bid.
We all pay them
because-
out of our own budget, so we all get separate bills.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gotta be somebody else
Well,
around,
yeah,
if they're that
'cause
big of a pain for
The
you
ones
guys
that
to
I
deal
lease
with.
from,
Are
they
they a
send
pain
out
other than the billing, or is it
electronic,
just
yeah.
the billing issue?
It's just the billing that's been the issue. ETSB is going a different path though. We're gonna let our copy machine go. We're gonna just utilize regular printers and everything. We already got most of the utilizations on that for us. So all we have to do is buy a scanner. But that's for us and our department at that point.
Is Leaf local? Is it a local
Part
company?
of Champagne, I believe.
I know our
Leaf
sales
is-
rep is
Leaf is
fairly
just a
keen.
finance
She's in
company.
Bourbon Haven.
Right. It's actually proven that we deal with, proven
They
IT out of
use
Champagne.
Leaf for-
Yeah.
We haven't had any issues with
FTT,
Proven.
No.
Respond and they
No.
service when you're ordered. Copy
Mm-hmm.
machine, good. It's
ETI.
just the bill, the leasing.
And there's like McGrath Whale and Kankakee, and I mean, there's
There's-
places everywhere, yeah.
There's a couple over at the courthouse that have, McGrath Whalen.
Well, that's what we have, we got the grant.
Be nice to get some
We own
bids
our
though,
copiers, we own the copiers, so.
because I know when I did that, the ones that we have are, I mean, they outbid everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you get all your toner and all that kind of stuff. free.
Yeah, and they do the maintenance.
Mhm.
Is there another one of these copies?
Yeah. Somewhere.
How long are these leases for, or do you have options?
You know what, you can just have mine.
And here's
I have
the
the
other
same.
thing to remember, they are specifically and only a lease, so you will lease this piece of equipment until the end of that term, you do not own anything,
Mm-hmm.
period. It is a lease that you cannot get out of, you can't buy it out for a lesser price. If you want out of that lease, you pay through the end of that lease and that's it, you either hang on to the equipment till the end of it, or you send it back and you just don't get the use out of it. We asked a lot of those questions. And then at the end of the lease, you have the option to purchase at the market price at that point. So if you bought a $20,000 copier machine and let's say it's worth $15,000 now at the end of your lease, you could buy it for $15,000. But you still are out all the money that you paid for the lease. There's very little return for something like that.
William? How much is like one of those how much does a lease a year?
I know ETSB, we pay $165 a month. whatever that translates out to.
Yeah, I always had a problem with that, looking at it in my
It's not cheap.
board meetings.
Well, I mean, I lease, but my lease is way less than that.
Mhm.
And like I said, I get all the freebies with it, and then if it breaks, they're there the same day.
Well, and that's part of the proven contract. You're dealing with two separate sections. The
Mhm.
lease is only for the actual equipment itself. You then pay a quarterly price for proven,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
that's
so
where
you-
all the toner and all the maintenance.
Mine's all in with the lease.
Yeah.
Mine's all in with the lease.
This is
So I pay one fee, get it all. The only thing I really have to supply is paper.
Mhm.
And then, when my lease is up, I can either keep the machine for like a flat fee, I mean, it's not really much, or usually what we do, because, copiers are
Mhm.
like cars, you run them pretty hard. You go straight into another lease, and usually there's, fluctuation of maybe $3 to $5. So
Ours
I think
is,
we need to just look around.
I would suggest.
Can you see how many leases we're in and
Mhm.
like, I mean, it sounds like we just signed a bunch of 5-year leases or something here, but how many aren't or might be coming up for something else, I guess.
Yeah. I can do that.
I know ETSB is coming out.
Especially when you're
Ours is due
talking,
in
I mean, if
July,
each one of
but
you-
we're- like I said,
finance
we're
is
working on-
$2,500 a year, then-
in May, we're just saying.
So you had that for at least 5
do
years?
that for every department,
coming
we're
up
not
on 5
talking,
years.
it's probably a big chunk after
Mhm.
every copier that the county has. It's $200 in that
And
office,
just
then,
that office, all right.
then that's $2,500 a year, and
I'll get that to you.
you probably got, I don't know, $20,000-$30,000 worth of copier fees.
And no
Leases.
return.
Yeah.
And really no return, because you don't get to own that equipment after.
Why don't we see where we're at with all the leases, and
Sure,
next
I
meeting
can
we
do
can
that.
talk about it.
So a list of all the leases with expiration dates.
Yeah. And what we're paying. We can get,
Are you talking about just on copiers or on everything? Postage?
well, I don't know,
Okay,
yeah, maybe
as long
we
as
should
all-
look at everything, because maybe they're, like Sherry just said, that they, I don't know, what'd you say your guys are? Tell us, how much is it a month?
Mine's under $100.
Well, that's, I mean, so there's,
Yeah.
sounds like there's savings to be
Yeah.
$10,000 a year between everybody. But I don't know, so how many different things do we do this with besides the printers?
Well, I think the mailing machine and each department has a couple of different things that they specifically deal with. like the
And that's
postage
all
machine
coming from
and-
this Proven or
No, they're different companies.
different companies?
Mhm.
So all the different companies and expiration
Yeah,
dates.
that kind of equipment,
I'll get it.
might as well.
I'll get the information together and email.
Okay. I guess, back to the pay now stuff. Sounds like for the most part, most of these things is just to let us know.
Informational.
Yeah.
And I guess if they can work to get some of those things aligned, maybe that'd be good, but I don't know that there's a whole lot you can do. And I'm sure people like UPS want a payment the moment you
Yeah.
ship the shipment, so there's not much you can do about that.
They do, and there's steep penalties.
Yeah,
from what
there
I
are.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
And
10
it's-
days.
And if it's on the claims or whatever, I guess,
Yeah, it's basically health department related because they have to send specimens and things like that out right away.
So they bill you once a week, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
the one thing, you might, I guess, maybe when you're talking with, I'm drawing a blank, the auditor's name.
Oh,
Hope,
Mhm.
how do they deal with these credit card things or whatever? I mean, besides just getting the dates aligned, because, I mean, like John put out, not saying that anybody's doing
Mhm.
anything wrong, but the potential for
Mhm.
things like that, obviously that, what's Champaign County or whoever else they deal with
When you
do for
get
that
your bill,
situation?
Jill, like when you get the credit card bill, is the receipts for those charges attached to that bill?
Yeah, sheriff, or over at the sheriff's office, they are very good about writing on there and having all their receipts in line.
Okay, so I mean, so the documentation is there for the
Okay.
credit card, so
Mhm.
it's not, you're just not getting a statement with
just a
Yeah,
statement.
no, and yeah, you're just not getting statement, you're getting the backup to go with it.
Right, they provide, like for Walmart, they provide all the prescription sheets and, I mean, the claims like this.
At least we have the documentation of what it is.
Mhm.
I can say ETSB, we have a debit card that has my name on it that I'm authorized to use. I provide them a claim at the beginning of the month before the purchase is done, so we know exactly what's going out. And then I'll do the transaction after the meeting, so after I've gotten approval, it's one way to make sure we have the hand on the bag before it's just gone.
I think on things you know are coming, that's one thing, but I think some of these things are
Mhm.
kind of things.
One thing that I might add that might help everybody to understand this a little better too is that before Joe sent me this information, I was contacted by another county. And they had questions as to what some of our practices and policies were, and I was pretty sure I knew what they are, but nevertheless, they had, in that county, there were some abuses going on, and they were trying to get that straightened out and corrected. So I offered my advice and opinions on all that, but then I guess it was maybe the next week when Joe sent me this, and I said, oh, I don't ever remember that we approved this kind of thing, you know? So to me, I think the Finance Committee needs to be aware of these things that are pre-approved and needs to authorize it periodically. And in the 8 years I've been on the board, I can't remember it's ever been done. So I think it's probably time that we do that and probably try to make a regular practice out of it. I'm not saying that we necessarily need to challenge everything on the list, but we certainly need to know about it. You know? And that's kind of the intent of it.
Did Hope have any issues with that when?
No.
Okay. 'Cause I know she was the one before, there was that other checking account or whatever.
Yeah,
that,
yeah, and
you know,
that's been
so-
resolved.
Right, so, okay.
Okay, so are you wanting us to make a motion here or something, or?
Well, it sounds like maybe you need a little more information. Maybe you table it till next month and see what further information develops on it. But I mean, in my view, the credit cards were the area where there most likely was the opportunity or the potential for abuse. That's all. I mean, the thing is, once you paid the bill, you can't get the money back.
Mhm.
And you may have other avenues of recourse, but nevertheless, it's in many cases when we didn't pay bills because we didn't think they were structured right, or we didn't know the money, or whatever, there was a valid reason for not paying or holding off, so. With the credit cards, we don't have that option.
Right.
Things that are under contract, like the copy or whatever, that's, you know, we're obligated to pay that. Having a lease with a different copier supplier is another issue that's something to look at, but, yeah,
I'd say then
like I
let's
said,
look into, talk with her about the credit cards and then,
Maybe for the
See.
credit card, when you get that credit card bill,
Mhm.
obviously you're getting the receipts, we don't need to see all that. Maybe you could just make a copy of the credit card bill
Mhm.
and then put what department it's out of.
It comes through in a claim.
As-
Yeah, when the department heads turn it into me, or to Lacey, they include, it's in a claim with the statement and the receipts.
Right, but it doesn't come on any of these things.
Well, for specific departments, all these credit cards are sheriff, so they'll be on judicial. They'll be on your county board reports
Okay,
too.
but does it say credit, I mean, would it jump out at us as credit card?
Probably
That's-
not.
That's where I was going.
Gotcha, you
Just-
wanted to jump out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just so that we knew that that was actually
Right.
an accounted for claim under
Sure.
that particular thing.
Okay.
And we don't need, I don't think we need to see receipts for all of it, because obviously you're looking
They
at
go
that.
with the
and-
claim, yeah.
Right, so just maybe to
Mhm.
show, to indicate,
Which ones are credit cards?
yeah,
Sure.
that might be a help to us.
What's our monthly credit card bills amount to?
Depends.
We're
Um,
talking $5,000 or $10,000.
Probably around 5, I would say, with the fuel and, depending on how many inmates they have and how much they need to purchase for inmates. It varies, but yeah, we'll say an average of 5.
So I guess my next question would be, does everybody over there then, all the deputies and everything, everybody has a credit card?
I'm not 100% sure how it's structured, as far as who has a credit card and who doesn't. I just get the statements And
That
then-
might be interesting.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I put
would
down
think
the,
that all the deputies have.
I would too. for
Yeah, I would
gas
think so,
purposes, but-
but,
They fill up at the gas stations around the county.
Right.
and a lot of them, they have accounts.
But I didn't know
at,
if
so
they
just
had
put it on
one where they
account.
just took it at the, shift wise or something like that.
That
or
could be,
Maybe,
I wrote down to, ask Sheriff how that exactly, he has it set up over there, so.
Sherry, all the inmates that have the,
they all have one too. We give them one when they
Well,
leave.
they hand it to their girlfriends through the bars.
Yeah, and I mean, just as far as BP, a month, we do about 3,800 BP.
We have a cash back.
No, mm-mm. I don't think they offer it.
Not on a fleet.
Not on a fleet
Not on a
card.
fleet card.
Do we get a discount because it's a fleet card?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it.
I'm just wondering, we have cards with all these different gas stations.
Mhm.
And if we're getting no benefit by using their card, why not just have one card that we use
That's
wherever the hell needs to be used, and then you could set what the date was, and it'd simplify the whole thing, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. I want to
I
speak
mean,
with
if
Sheriff.
they're giving us money back because we buy gas with their gas card, okay, maybe there's an
Right,
incentive to do
right.
that, but
Yeah, that's
what's
why I want to
the,
speak
I mean,
with
if they got a
Sheriff.
credit card and they got a BP card and there's no benefit to using the BP card, then why not just have a credit card and be done with it?
Yeah, I'll speak with Sheriff and see
Seems
if we
like
can
you
do
got 10 cards, and
Inside.
there's no benefit to having 10.
Right. Well, and at that
All
point, it might be
cards will
easier
end up
just to
in a
have
big-
It might make
Or it might be
it
simpler to just set a separate fund with a debit card.
Mhm.
And then, obviously, you'd have to reconcile that, but
Right.
wouldn't that be much simpler than worrying about that bill coming in and all that kind of
Casey's would
stuff?
have a big
Yeah,
run
again,
this
I
year.
mean, I don't want to speak too much on it. 'cause
Right, right, you don't
even
know.
without
but-
Sheriff's input,
Right.
because I'm not sure how he has it structured. And I'll see if I can get some more information from him.
Well, I'm
Maybe
just
he can
thinking
come
that if
next meeting.
BP's a pain to deal with, and we get no benefit using their card, then quit using their card.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand.
My BP saves me 10 cents a gallon on fuel.
Well,
I
okay.
think it's,
So
yeah.
are we signed up for that?
I don't know, it's
Doesn't know.
different with fleet vehicles, so like I said, I'll go ahead and get more information on the sheriff, see if maybe he wants to come and give us some insight next meeting.
Okay. If we're done with that, then we'll move on to claims. Apparently there's one from text.
Oh, yeah, that one was added on, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Last time. So, No? Well, here you go. You're welcome.
The Sonic Wall license was in the budget.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something we pay every year.
Yeah.
And I've been asking for explanations on all those, so I have it attached to the
Okay.
claim.
Did you guys ever get your booklet with when all the licensures expire and all that kind of stuff? It never happened yet. Did we ask for that like 4 months ago?
Yep.
Are they carving it in stone?
My email, I'll have to go get it for IT. I have an email from Michael, I'll have to go get it at IT, but basically just what he wanted to go over, or what he was gonna talk about at the meeting, so.
Okay. Anybody wants to make a motion to approve the claims,
That's
or if
all,
they got questions? Okay. Motion by Charlie to approve the claims,
send them on to the county board.
send them to the county board. Got a second,
Second.
second by Sherry. Call the roll.
McTaggart,
Yes.
Alt,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Sticknut,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, and we'll move on to old business. New business.
I forgot to mention too, I did sign up for governmental accounting seminar, and that was on one of the claims. It's coming up in April. Hope Wheeler, our auditor, actually suggested that it would be a good course for me to take, so that's what that claim was for. I forgot to mention it.
Very good. Any other new business?
Someone else recommended you take it too.
What's that?
I said someone else recommended that you take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, motion to adjourn. Mr. Bowers, second. Mr. Young, all in favor? Aye.
Did you see anything? Yes, sir. You didn't see the one, you have to stay in that. Sit here.
The red is there.
If you look in here, yeah, it'll be hard